I think we should have some of our students from the farm school from just north of Airdrie. So do we have our farm students? Hey, I see you, Mark.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll just let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us all about your farm school.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Turner. I'm one of the teachers at the farm program. I am a horrible speaker, so I'm just going to let the students do it. But essentially we have a farm school that's located just outside of Airdrie here. We have a local farmer who donated 15 acres to us to basically use and to think about how the heck do we grow food. We are a public school program, so it's not like we're some charter or private school. And the nice part is yeah, I'll get the kids to kind of talk about it, and then after they've kind of talked about what their experience is and why we need it in the classroom, I'm more than happy to kind of share from the educational aspect, like how do you get things like this started? What does it look like? But yeah, I will turn off. I'll have our kids present. Yeah, they'll share the presentation, and then I'll come back on. Okay.
Sounds great. Thanks.
And so just to even share, like this is our classroom. We got 22 grade 9s in here. And
hi guys. Good to see you again.
And so yeah, and I'll let Mark, Sadie, and Brooklyn take over now, and I'll put their little presentation on.
Great, thanks.
Hi, can you hear us?
Yep, can, yeah.
That's perfect. So, I'm Mark Norgard.
I'm Brooklyn Malinchak.
And I'm Sadie Turner.
We're 3 grade 9 students here at the farm program. I myself come from a cow-calf operation, and I came here to, learn new things and really just have fun, at the farm program.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Malinchak. I'm another grade 9 student from the farm. My family has an agronomist company, and I joined the farm to get new experience in agriculture and to improve my resume for college.
My name is Sadie Turner, and I'm also a grade 9 student. My family runs a cow-calf operation, and I joined the farm school because I want my future to evolve around agriculture. Agriculture should be a part of the classroom for multiple reasons. One is that it helps with possible career choices for the students, and in a normal high school, you don't really get to explore that as much. It also helps the students become more aware of where their food comes from and how that works. It's also a different type of learning for the students if they don't enjoy being in a normal high school setting.
How agriculture has impacted my life. You get new opportunities at the farm to meet new students that come from different schools, and you get kind of new ideas for like what farming is like in the future and new ways of farming. And you learn lots of life skills that can help you in any direction you go into.
Agriculture has impacted my life in different ways. One is that I get to meet lots of new interesting people, and I also get to get more knowledge on agriculture to share with my family. It also helps me enjoy my learning more, being in a setting I actually care about more, and I also get lots of life skills.
I think agriculture has impacted my life in a pretty big way. I mean, agriculture itself is a wonderful thing. You get to meet lots of new people that have wonderful knowledge, and you can even make friends in agriculture that could last the rest of your life. I believe academically, it teaches you a ton of life skills that you could use pretty much anywhere. It gives you a lot of opportunities later in the future if you wanted to go into agricultural. And I think all around, it's just a great learning experience. Here at the farm program, we're on a 15-acre farm, and we do lots of different types of trips to different places. Like we went to a greenhouse, we went and harvested a couple crops like potatoes, and we also went to go experience that Journey 2050 down at the Stampede grounds. We get year-round schooling, and even though we're still running the farm, we get to complete all our core classes and get a good education from it.
These are just the livestock that we have here. So we have our chickens, we have our goats, and this is our grade 9 team, I would say. And then the farm we'd like to expand to have like a greenhouse, a vegetable garden, some bees, more livestock, a water capture program, and test plots.
Thanks, team. Now you guys have to deal with me. So I just want to explain a couple things too. I probably did a horrible job having the kids who volunteered to come do this because all three of them have an actual accurate background in ag. The part that's really important for us is that, so we have 40 students who are with us, grade 9, grade 10s, and 11s. And I would say 3/4 of them have no background in ag. Just luckily for us, Sadie, Brooklyn, and Mark, they're just really well-spoken kids who just wanted to actually volunteer to do this. But most of our kids have no background whatsoever, which is kind of really important for me. Even as a teacher, I jokingly say I started a farm school, but I have no ag background at all. And I think that's actually, I think it's really important for educators to know that there's so many experts out there. There's so many people who have the knowledge who want to share. It's just about giving them an actual learning experience to do so. So that's kind of like what our program is built around, is that I don't have the actual knowledge, but there's so many people in and around our community that do. And that's actually what I'm good at as a teacher, is to find those people, find those experiences. Guys, don't talk. Sorry, we have sweet young children here. So we actually are in school right now. Sweet children. There you guys go. So, and the other interesting part that's been really cool for us is the idea of actually having our community step up. Our school division, the way the program got started was that it wasn't from our school division sitting there and saying we want to do it. It was actually a local parent who came forth and said, I want school to look a little bit different. And lucky for me, I was just a teacher who was running another alternative program where we were building houses with kids. And we eventually, I was just like, this is too cool of an idea. The school division didn't really want to go move forward with it. So eventually, I'm just well connected in Airdrie, and we just kind of had some farmers come out and check out what school could look like. So, and I think that's the one thing that's really interesting for us, is that instead of just sitting there and talking kind of like ag or anything, growing anything in a classroom setting, for us, we kind of explore that. We have our little setup of like livestock in the background. All the animals have been donated to us because right now we're just starting. And I think that's it's crazy. I've never been around animals in my life. So all of a sudden now to be thinking about, oh my gosh, how do I feed an animal? The goats, it's cold outside. What do I do? So for me as a teacher, I can't express how much the learning that I do is important, but I think it's even more important is just to start really having our kids focus on food. Cause I kind of said in one of my little videos I share is, I just think it's the issue of the day. Like, feeding it ourselves is the issue. COVID showed us that. As I joked with my students, I was like, if that border wasn't closed, or if it was closed, we're done. Like, so for me, and I always tell the kids, especially, like, there's a future in ag. And I mean, there's days where I'm just like, that's it. I'm done teaching. I'm leaving the field to go do something in ag. But yeah, so for us, that's kind of the really cool part. And just, yeah, the community support has really been really awesome to see. And yeah, so we're 3 months in, and I can't wait to keep checking back in on us. Or if you guys want to come visit, we love having visitors to come and check us out. I just want to open up questions to anybody, especially teachers, about like, how the heck do you start these? If you're interested, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have.
I'm wondering, while we're waiting to see if any teachers come up with some questions, you guys obviously have a very unique environment that you're working in. Excuse me. I'm wondering if you might have some advice for teachers that are still, they have their four-walled classroom. Do you have any advice for how they can maybe get started with bringing agriculture into the classroom?
So I'm just going to show you a couple of little things. So for us, I think that even just like the simple, like just that hydroponic system, like just growing things. There's like all the technologies here to grow stuff inside. We have a student who will eventually get an aquaponic system going. Our classroom is still a classroom here. We're just lucky that we have some animals outside and we have more space than most people. The one real big advantage is also to find, there's lots of money out there. Actually, that's kind of something I should mention as well. The Alberta Ag and Forestry, they have lots of grants. We were able to secure a pretty hefty grant that basically we just kind of said, we want to start a farm school. And this is not trying to diminish what the procedure was, but it was just saying we want kids to be around ag. And I think and we just kind of said, we're going to have some livestock, grow some vegetables, greenhouse, and we were able to secure a pretty decent fund as well for that. And I think there's a lot of opportunities inside education. Does a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I know that like Journey 2050 is awesome, but there's a lot of people out there who want to support it. It's about talking to the right people. If you're sitting there going, I'm interested, Mark, what was it? Nutrients for Life has tons of there's money there to be able to just grow even like planter boxes. Like that's easy to do as well. Like you don't need to have 15 acres, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple questions here. They want to know who looks after the animals and the plants when you're not in school.
That's my favorite question. So initially when Matt Kamistik and Matt is my partner teacher, I'm here as well. Initially when we were being asked to do this, or we actually were asking about doing this, people were just like, well, Mark, like animals are 24/7. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you're right. We have it so that Matt and I, I would say the first 2 or 3 weeks, and we started to get animals, we were responsible for it. But the students actually are awesome. They actually step up. We haven't been here in the last month on the weekends because kids are just like, can I come in and do the chores? I'm like, yeah, of course you can. So, and I think the other thing that's really cool is the buy-in is tremendous from parents. I always get feedback. They're like, oh, it's the first time ever that my kid's been really happy at school. And I really do want to stress that it's a wide range of kids from all academic backgrounds, kids from I've had kids who didn't even know what canola was. So that's really important to know. So it's not just some whole bunch of farm kids. My favorite question from teachers as well, I see that Nicole, you've asked, do you have to link all the core subjects or do I link them all back to farming? Heck no, it's impossible. Can't. And I think that's a really key thing for teachers to understand is that you don't have to link it all back. There's some really cool connections we have that you can make, but it's not, no, gosh, no. Like there's no program in the world that's able to tie back anything back to a place-based setting or anything like that, right? So I think that's something that's really important. So, and yeah, and also from a teaching standpoint, I teach math from a very traditional perspective. And I mean, this is my second year teaching grade 9. So I'm just like, yeah, maybe contact me in 5 years and maybe I will have planned it all out. But after 13 years of teaching, I'm like, if I'm just happy to get some of this stuff connected, then I'm okay with that. It's more like the experience coming out here, learning from different animals and growing things. And don't ask me why we started a farm school that starts in September. Okay. My next goal for our superintendent is to teach them we need to be starting February to November, and we'll be happy with that.
I was interested in your indoor gardens there. You've got a soil garden and a hydroponics setup, you said in there.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what kind of process did you use to design and build your hydroponic garden? Was that up to the kids to design, or did you give them a design, or?
I'm a horrible teacher in the sense I say Google is your friend. There are so many experts out there. There's so many people who know what they're doing. And again, I have never done this. I'm a gardener in my own little place, but by no means am I the final answer. And I would say that, yeah, the kids, I always say the one student, London, who's like, aquaponics, I'm interested. I'm like, go for it. I have no idea. What do you need from me? What do you need from parents? Do you need money for this? What do we need? Right. So, Rupa, you asked, do you classify this by learning by doing? I would say, I think that's probably the best way to learn is by doing, but that's just my own personal opinion.
What, from your perspective, what do you see the social emotional benefits of including all of this in your school?
Don't take this the wrong way if any of you are teachers in a regular setting, but COVID has been a non-issue for us. In the sense that we have 40 kids, we're out in the middle of nowhere. We wear our masks, and from a mental health standpoint, I'm not gonna say we're oblivious to it, but just we're in a really good spot. I know that the world's crazy out there right now, but for us, we're on a farm. Kids are, they get to go and we have a couple really tricky kids who, for them, they really do want to, they want to be around animals on a certain level, right? That's kind of a way for them to calm down. And I think that's I never knew about the effects of animals. I never did. I'm never had a pet in my life until I had to adopt 3 chickens from this program into my own backyard, and now I'm getting a dog. So yeah, so I never knew the impact that animals have on people, but for me, from a mental health standpoint, from our kids, we just do really, really well. Yeah. Casey, my email, actually, I'll just even type it in there. It's for anybody, if you guys want to, especially if you want to come down and visit. yeah, like please do. I think that's the power of it, is to see it, because when I used to even do the building program, people were like, what, you build houses with kids, or you have a farm school? I'm like, yes, you just have to come down and see it, because especially bring your like superintendent, bring the people who make decisions, because that's the power, is when people who are making those decisions are going, oh, that's a good prototype to run from. And yeah, it's going to look different. There's lots of really cool programs. Kevin up in Ontario, who's doing his own little version of farm school. Like there's so many cool things. I see Neil's here as well, who does all the
Yeah.
farm school. Like there's lots of really cool things going on in Alberta. It's totally doable.
Awesome. Somebody else has a question. What kind of time ratio is there between bookwork and hands-on farming? So how do you balance your curriculum and your chores?
So for September, October, we were in class in the morning from 9 to about 11:30, lunch from 11:30 to 12. And then when it's beautiful outside, we are outside all the time. Like for the first like month and a half, 2 months, we were outside for the whole afternoons, building stuff, being outside, like, yeah, just kind of prepping. And then I tell people that basically from now until, what is it, maybe April, May, as the earth has kind of like warm up, or not warm up, God, what am I talking about? When it has to finally like be unfrozen, that's when most of our schoolwork gets done then. Nothing against education, but we spend a lot of wasted time in school. When people ask me that question, I'm like, we probably spend more time learning than most kids do in that kind of a traditional classroom setting, just because we don't have transition periods. The kids are here for 6 hours a day. We can talk, like, yeah, there's no breaks in between. There is breaks, but it's not that traditional setting where, oh, okay, everybody change classes, which wastes 15, 20 minutes every time you do it anyways, right? So.
Great. Any other questions out there? Or Mark?
I think Nicole, sorry, just one last comment. I think the cool part is like, it's about creating what you want. Like for that ratio, that time, like I think that's, the kids are always, they like that idea of, yeah, like I was telling them, like when we're outside, like our goal is to be done all of our curriculum by the beautiful time, to be outside enjoying, like, it's a horrible day today. It's all foggy, but like it's stunning country out here. It's beautiful. Like we have a creek close by. Our kids get to be outside. Like that's what makes happy me, right? That's what I'm happy about, right? It's grade 9, 10s, and 11s, Tara. Yeah, just for anybody else to know. We'd love to get grade 12s, but for right now, grade 9, 10s, 11s works.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Awesome, folks. Again, if anybody has any questions, want to come down and visit us, please feel free to. And to tell you the truth, actually, we got money for if you're within the Calgary area to just get a free bus as well. So we actually can bus you and your group out. We're more than happy to.
That's great. Thanks a lot for showing us around, Mark. And please say thank you to your students for us for stepping up and giving us a little bit of their perspective on the benefits of having agriculture in the classroom. That's great. So we have about 10 minutes before